Hello and welcome to Who Dares Rolls TV. I am your host, Mike B, and this is a new week, Monday today. Probably this Tuesday this will be going out because I'm going to work in a minute. So, what do we got to discuss? Well, let's have a think. There's not much going on. I mean, Spiel happened just last weekend, I think it was, really. Not a huge amount. I mean, there's a lot of games released. I've not heard much in the realms of buzz of stuff that's was great. Stuff that's really everyone was like coming back to and going, oh, this is amazing. This must have. We never went. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what turns up. I mean, there was Tony Bordeaux had a bunch of stuff. We like Tony, so we're going to mention him anyway. Alibari, nice cup of tea. Anyway, but this is the Snowdonia sort of refeamy thing, which is something definitely we're interested in looking into. And he had a solo play sci-fi game. It's a really nice art, which I can't remember the name of it, but it had a weird name. But those kind of things were there, as well as attentional shipping he was demoing, which he's tweaked a lot since I saw it at Expo. It was interesting. Expo. It was a pick up and deliver game, but he's added a lot more elements to it now, and I think probably it will be a better game for it. I enjoyed attentional shipping when we played it. I lost terribly at it, but yeah, I am interested to see how that one develops. But so that's it. But other than that, really, not a massive amount of stuff that I've picked up on that was like the game of Essen or anything. If I missed it, fair enough, but we will wait and see. However, a small couple of niblets of news that have dropped in the last kind of day or so. So at BlizzCon, they announced a Small World retheme of a WoW retheme of Small World. Now, I desperately want the WoW board game from Fantasy Flight. That being reprinted would have filled my boots with joy. Blizzard have kind of pooped in their own coffee cup of late with their shenanigans regarding players on Hearthstone and China and protests and all that sort of stuff. If you've been following that, that's a bit of a dick move, really, Blizzard. What are you playing at? World of Warcraft, Small World, I don't know. I'm kind of on that. Yeah, Small World's a nice enough game. Enjoyed it. Got rid of it a while back. It was fun, enjoyable. It was a nice entry level game. The world theme is nice, I suppose, but I want World of Warcraft, the board game, proper one. Just anyone's got one spare they don't want. So that's that. It's iello, iello. I think is how it pronounce it. They've just announced a King of Tokyo Dark. Which is essentially, I'm digging a bit deeper now, is a limited edition version of King of Tokyo, i.e. expensive. It's going to have some upgraded components. It's got all this very dark theme, dark and gloomy, edgelordy theming to the game. It has one small tweak other than the cosmetic changes, which is kind of like a level up track on the side of the board that you, as you do stuff, you'll level and get abilities from doing that, rather than maybe the power up cards. So I don't think the power up is included in this version. I was initially interested, kind of like King of Tokyo. It's one I play. It doesn't get to table a massive amount. If there'd been sort of like a really good tweak to this or something cool, but the fact that it's a limited edition with nice components, this dark theme makes me feel that this is probably going to be expensive. So we will probably pass that one by. However, most exciting thing to happen today, moving all that aside, is this dropped through my letterbox. I haven't opened it yet. I've peeled the cellophane off, but that's it. It's Terraforming Mars Turmoil. This is the Kickstarter version, which this was available at Spiel, but this is the Kickstarter version I backed, which arrived a scant couple of hours ago. So let's have a quick look at what's going on inside the old boxerino, shall we? We've got some cards. There we go, some cards for the game. I believe those are probably the Kickstarter promo cards that came. Let's peel it open and let's have a look. It was raining again. Stupid rain. Or maybe we won't look in here. This is kind of pitiful, isn't it? Like watching us. Good grief. Oh, perhaps if you try peeling it on the other side, that actually opens Mike. That's a good idea. Just. I think these are the. Ooh, that's an interesting card. It's got a different pack. So there we go. So I think they are the Kickstarter promo cards and some limited edition white cards. There's a couple of companies, some other stuff there. So that's that. Lovely. That's obviously the actual cards for the game there. We've got some bits and pieces. So these are the delegates. They're very small little people, but there's a set of them in each. The colours, there's neutrals. So Turmoil, essentially, if you don't be following it, and if you don't follow Terraforming Mars, it was the penultimate expansion. I believe there's one more to come, which essentially is that it takes politics to the game. So you have different parties relating to different parts of the planet. Some of them are to do with the where the terraforming on the planet is actually happening. Some of them are space based, some of them are other thing. So they're like add-ons, sort of like tweaks to the game that give you a sway over where stuff's going and what's happening. I've really followed it massively, but that's kind of the gist of it. So it does up the complexity to the game. It's only a small rule book, but skimming it, what I've seen, it possibly going to add a bit of a head-scratching complexity to it. So we've got some boards in here. That is the global event boards, which relates to this game. Very cool. There is cardboard poppy bits, some milestones, some of the bits. I think these are actual policies that you enact during the game, and they will do stuff depending on what party has enacted them or what's gone on. There is the board, the main sort of political tracks board there, where the delegates sit and you can sway control over that. So it's like a area control-y type thing, I believe, coming from it. And then, of course, the most important thing of the whole proceedings here, which won't be available in a plastic cube, never have enough plastic cubes, which won't be available in the retail edition, is these. These are the, finally, Stronghold Games has finally caught on, and they've released it. These were part of the Kickstarter. You will be available later on to buy, I believe. These are inset boards for the game. So the original game, here is my original game, this, which is desperately in need possibly of an insert, if I'm honest with you, as this is how I store my Terraforming Mars, just like that. So we can do away with these dratted things. They're going, huzzah, be off with you. And we have these new shiny boards. Let's get some cubes out, let's see what happens. So the idea being, of course, as you're tracking the game, if you've not played it, we'll go into that in a minute. You will be able to plop your cubes in here, and there they go. They sit in there. Way-oh. So there's a... Okay, well, they sit there better than they did. So they're inset boards, so that will stop that happening. Obviously, you're not going to play with your board like that. But yeah, that's kind of cool, is that... Well, okay, well... It may save it from a small should probably put the right cube in there, really, shouldn't I? There we go. Oh, that's quite solid. So there we go. The curse of the Terraforming Mars was always the table jog, which would result in a cataclysmic disaster of epic proportions to your game. So then we have these boards, which are very nice, and I believe that's the entire contents of what's in that box. So you won't be getting them if you just buy it retail, but there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those boards. Main reason why I backed on Kickstarter was for these, because it's been a bane of my life. Terraforming Mars, if you've not played it, it's a favourite of ours. I actually really enjoy it. We did a review of the base game, is on the website as a text review, but I am looking at revisiting to do a review of breakdown of all the expansions, because it's one we play quite a lot. I quite enjoy it. It's an engine building game. You're terraforming Mars, lots of card play, so there's massive amounts of cards, as we showed. There's some of the cards there, and you're kind of building a deck, building an engine, depending on what cards come your way. Very cool. We do like a bit of Terraforming Mars. Really interested to see how this expansion plays, and then we'll do an update on that. But yes, definitely at some point I'll sit down and I'll do a video where we break down all the different expansions of Terraforming Mars and what we like of them. Quick hint here at the moment: Prelude is the one that if you bought the base game and looking for one expansion to buy, I would buy Prelude, because that's brilliant. It adds a really nice sort of extra good stuff to the game. So there we go. Terraforming Mars, Turmoil, or Brexit in Terraforming Mars-averse is essentially what that is all about. The player boards, which will be available, I believe, from Frixis Games, separately, probably from Cons, and I believe Stronghold or someone will be releasing these to buy separately. But yes, they were Kickstarter backers, got them in the pot. That, I think is kind of really where we're at the moment. Stuff we're going on. As I say, we're going to do a Terraforming Mars thing. There's a bunch of other review stuff that I need to get done, which I'm not done. Kickstarter-wise, not a lot going on in that at the moment that I can think off the top of my head, other than maybe Subterra 2 is on there running at the moment, which at some point we might well get a preview copy of it. It's been inferred that we will. I'll be guesting on We're Not Wizards this week, I think Wednesday, so there'll be that pod dropping. I appreciate that we haven't released a pod for a while. It's mainly because we're really crap at organising it, and between babies and me working, it's been really tricky for me to find time to do it. But we will release a podcast. But if you're desperate for your pod fix, then I will be sitting down with Richard from We're Not Wizards this week to talk shit, I'd imagine. That, I think, brings us to a rip-roaringly, solidly fantastic end to this episode. Our Halloween video dropped the other day, late for Halloween, but, you know, when have we ever been punctual for anything we do? So you can take a peek at that if you want. And there's other videos around here that you can look at, and more will be coming. Don't forget to subscribe. Huzzah! Go to the website, whodasrolls.com. You can see a bunch of text reviews. Charlie's been dropping some really cool stuff on there. He's recently done Zombie World RPG, which is kind of cool, and there's a couple of other things I've got going. There's a review from Glenn for a game I can't remember. Glenn from CavingCon has done a review for us, so I will be putting that up. And yes, and don't forget we do Patreon as well. Should you wish to throw money at us in a haphazardly sort of fan it at us, maybe make it rain, and I don't know, I'll show some leg or something. That's also available to you. Excellent. As always, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, then we'll do this again. Ta-ta.